So here we go, game number 2 between tmanplays and fantyx. As tmanplays is up 1-0, we are on war to go. We have the bans on 7th and 79th this time around, and 3rd US, so 3 big tank divisions banned. That leaves one tank division open that has been picked with the 5th clean day. fantyx picking 39th Guards Mortal Strelky. No 5th Panzer, which is a bit of a surprise for me on this map. I really believe 5th Panzer on this map is quite competitive, but it's medium tanks instead. T80BVs and T80Bs, and a lot of T62s versus AMX-30s and AMX-10s in front of them. So that's gonna be interesting, as we're gonna go in here into war to go, and into the question if tmanplays can equal the score of Hippie and follow Hippie as the one of 2 unbeaten players of this monthly tournament to decide between themselves who will win this whole thing next week, or if fantyx can keep his chances of winning the tournament alive with a W here, or if he at least can take a bit away from tmanplays' chances and get himself a bit better standing by getting a draw here. That's obviously always an option as well. Let's see how it goes, as we have a couple of BMP2s coming around, T80BV coming in as well. And yeah, once more, the shout out to next week's. First of all, yeah, once more look on the bracket. tmanplays here coming around with the victory against Duro, obviously the winner of the monthly, and against Blitzwar. So 2 stronger opponents there taken out, and fantyx taking out Lafens and taking out Booth. So not an easy bracket either to make it here. And then once more shout out to the next Friday Night WARNO, which is going to happen next Friday, and on the 3rd of March on 7 PM CET till 10 PM CET once more. And this time I will be joined by Derek, so it will be a pretty potent team I'm in, if Derek is in form at all, as he's obviously one of the best WARNO players out there, and he's also consulting Eugen, so that's what we're going to talk about in the Q&A part, about his work over at Eugen in the game design and balancing department of the game, and what his ideas for the game are in the future, how all of that happened, and yep, what he thinks of WARNO, and so on and so on. How long he plays, all of that stuff. Like, yeah, all the questions that we have asked previous Eugen devs, we will ask Derek as well, who is currently working as a consultant for Eugen. Not directly employed at Eugen Studios, but like basically as a consultant from the outside. And yep, we have quite an interesting setup here currently for tmanplays. No tanks out yet. Might hint on some aircraft, as there still should be a couple of points remaining. Logwood05, thanks for the follow. And yeah, on the other side, E80s, BVs, BMP1s, BTRs, BVs coming around. Yeah, Me24K. So yeah, if you want to have a chance of playing against me and Derek, check out the playersdl.com, get yourself a teammate, and sign up for the nice, fun tournament next weekend. And yeah, let's see who will win this one, as I'm not sure who has a better deck for this map. I would say fantyx. 39 just seems a bit better with the long-range missiles, but the MX-10 can be really gnarly on this map as well. And we have a plan from the get-go. Okay, a Mirage 200. Roland 3 coming around here in the center. Mirage 200 can be quite powerful, but is a bit weaker than the SU-27 on the other side. I would say it's slightly better than the MiG-23. But if an SU-27 comes around, it would lose. Can be really helpful though against units like this. Yes, Me24K gets it up a bit. Osa not getting a hit off here. Mirage 200, big advantage of this plane is its fast speed, 1400 kmh. One of the top speed planes in the game, as it is coming in for the Me24K once more. Osa does get the hit on it though. So the the Mirage will have to fall back, and the Mi-24K not down yet. Heavily hurt, really heavily hurt, so really wants to get the hell out of there. I'm not quite sure why it's standing stationary while it's routed. That's not supposed to be the case. There's another Mirage does finish it off. Osa trying to get a kill, does only get a hit, but that's still decent. Mirage 200 once more forced to get out. It's once more team in place with the slightly faster move in with the CVs, but won't get much of a take here. And fantyx got a bit of an advantage with the take in the rear, it seems. So in the end, only 2 points separating these two players right now. As we have a VBL recon moving around in the north. We have some Grenadier Voltigeurs, which are pretty scary with the LRACs. LRAC and Apilas both scary anti-tank rocket launchers, especially due to the range. Apilas obviously also due to its damage. The Group B anti-char having a lot of firepower on 850 meter range there with that double Apilas. But the Grenadier Voltigeurs also good range against light vehicles, absolutely deadly, and obviously side shots with 15 penetration still hurt as well, even against heavy tanks. Or against like any main battle tank there. Doesn't want to take that into the side either. P4 Milan's coming up over here. Trying to get into some nice spots in the north. The first AMX-30 B2 on the battlefield as well. Outclasses the T-72, C-62s by a good bit, but gets outclassed itself by TADB. Price-wise though, pretty cheap. Pretty affordable. Lots of Conquerors. Flying towards the AMX-10 RC over here. AMX-10 does smoke up nicely. Has to get the bit out of there. That's the UWATS. Hits up the recon unit over here. TADBV in the north hits up the Grenadiers. Does a good damage there. Grenadier Voltigeurs really has to get the hell out of there. Doesn't want to get shot any further. Whilst another AMX-30B2 comes up. 2 of them versus TADBV can be a really interesting engagement. Once we have more BTRs coming in from the rear. Osa AKM coming up as well. We'll move into the center. To the south. MTLB Snap moving in as well. BMP-3, really potent vehicle. Really potent vehicle. As it has a good big gun. Long range ATGM. Really made for this map, basically. It can be helpful against any kind of gun position, like any kind of infantry, and it also can help out against tanks from a long range as a rail line unit as well. Jaguar here lucky that the Su-27 with its long range air-to-air missiles does not get the hit there, as the VLB here is trying to sneak around. Mi-8 MT-8 scouting around there. fantyx not having one in the south though, and there an AIMX-10 RC is trying to get sneaky here in the bushes. That AMX-10 RC really is a naughty boy. Trying to get into a nice spot to shoot up the reinforcement road here. Whilst the VAB T-20 moves up around here. But the Strelke BMP has to move back. Another AMX-30B2 coming in. Couple of hots. With ATGMs, both hot ones moving in. Slowly coming onto the battlefield. Hot one in the north. Will try to get into a position where it can hit enemy ground units. With the Osa being around though, that's kind of tough. As the Osa has the same, has a better anti-helicopter range than the Hot one has a air-to-ground range, making these ATGM small helicopters really tough to use nowadays. Finding a spot to them where they actually can be effective, especially offensive, is kind of impossible nowadays, I feel like. But defensively they still have a use, and they are pretty dirt cheap, so that's the thing. Like if they deal any damage, they usually pay off. But yeah, the first one already down, already getting sniped there. I believe it was by Nigla, which also got a nice range increase. BMP-1P Under fire here by that gazelle. It doesn't miss though. Osa not coming forward yet. BMP 1P most likely will go down then. Yeah, there we go. Does pop. Gazelle tries to move back. Osa is in range now though, but no, not quite getting the kill. Osa, nice shot, nice kill there. MX-30B2 hitting up against the Motosklakis and the Saperis, dealing a good amount of damage. More MX-30B2s coming up, more VAB-20s rolling in as well. Also, we have a couple of commandos coming around here. The French Special Forces with the Mini-Me Para and the Zig 543, moving up the hill here. Really good units. Only having an LRC though. That's their one weak spot. If they would have an Apilas, they would be so freaking fantastic. But the LRC AC is still decent. And Special Forces obviously can deal damage. And they're relatively... like, they're the budget Special Forces, which makes them quite nice to use in a deck that otherwise is on the mid-range of being expensive. Like, you don't have super much to spend on your infantry, as you have a lot of expenses when it comes to roll-ons and MX-30s. So, having a Special Force unit that is not super expensive keeps this deck... allows you for getting them quite often as well. It really fits the deck's price curve. MX-30's coming in over here. And the scary thing about the MX-30 is, once, obviously, that it has quite decent penetration on its main gun, but also that it has a 20mm autocannon with decent range, which can be really, really deadly against infantry. So, on a range where the infantry can't quite retaliate. So, yeah, for example, this 30mm grenade launcher and the Motosklaki here die relatively quickly here when the 20mm cannon comes in, making these MX-30s really nice there. Motosklaki does engage. VAB T20 getting against the Motosklaki as well. The only thing about this backups trait that is not working currently is the extra movement speed. The rest is functional. The extra movement speed currently is not in the game though. Mi-24K moving around here. And I'm not sure if it's a mess up, if it's not supposed to be there, or if it's a mess up on the... yeah, if it's left in there in the tooltip and shouldn't be there, or if it's the other way around. But like the trait with giving better veterancy curve is in. And giving better rate of fire and accuracy and stuff. And better stress resilience especially. Which is really, really big compared to other units. MX-30B2 hitting around here. Mi-24VP firing from the rear. Trying to get some hits onto these MX-30s. Yeah, really nice as a defensive unit here. Cocon also with 2800 meter, a lot more, like, a lot easier to use than the Hot 2s. But Cocon, not the biggest damage dealer out of all the ATGMs out there. As it only deals 18 ATGM, 19 damage, but it has a long range, it has decent accuracy, and you carry a lot of them in the Mi-24VP. Carry 16 of those. Meanwhile, Jaguars and Mirages now trying to come in. Jaguar dealing some damage there. Mirages not really getting anything done. And SU-27 is around, kills one, and most likely will get the second one shut down as well. Absolute killer in disguise here for fantyx. Really good air engagement there for fantyx. And a really important victory. Keeps the Mi-24VP alive, kills all three planes. I believe he lost the BMP-2 or something in the front. Or an infantry unit to that ATGM plane. Ah no, it was an OSA actually that got killed here by that ATGM plane. But good micro on the Mi-24, and really important kill there by the SU-27. SU-27, absolute MVP so far. Mistral's here. In a decent spot. Mistral is an insane stats-wise at the moment. With its 2800 meter range on a man-pad. That thing is so scary to play against currently. P4 Milan coming around. MX-30B2 Gets hit by a TADBV. That hurts a lot, so it has to be careful there. We haven't seen the Brennis yet. As the Paris take a good bit less damage from the TADBV. Still not comparable though. And yeah. As the BMP2 moves forward, BMP3 coming in. Mistral's falling back. P4 Milan falling back. And yeah, slow standoff here. 40 versus 42 points. Both players really playing this slowly here. No one pushing in too deep. It's a lot of small engagements with a lot of micro on the front line. BMP3 under fire by that Milan 2. Ooh, Milan 2 does miss though. But gets another shot off. Using Milan 2s against BMP3s is a bit annoying though, as the Milan 2 has the same range as the BMP3's main gun. It's always the issue with the Milan 2s that they have really low range for ATGMs. And the BMP3 has the longest range on any gun with its HE gun, so BMP3s actually can fire back on your Milan 2 when your Milan 2 can fire, which is usually not what you want to have happen with ATGMs against tanks. Making this a really nice matchup for the BMP3. Yeah, bit unfortunate there for the Milan 2 that it didn't get the hit there. And yeah, BMP3 at least didn't see it though. Wasn't able to fire back. AMX-10 hot coming around. That thing is really helpful. Oh no, it's... Wait, yeah, it's... It has 2,625 meter range. It has 12 hots. I believe... Yeah, there's the Mephisto as well, which is the unit that I use. The MX-10 hot is decent as well. Pretty similar, but I like the Mephisto more. Mephisto is a slight bit more expensive, but I believe a bit faster, especially, and there's something else different there. I forgot what exactly it was. Both carry the same missile though. The Hot 2 is a good missile. Long range, good, fantastic accuracy for an ATGM, and really top end level damage as well with 24. So that thing is a nice unit to have here for sure. As the North is still a big Mexican standoff. Milan 2 tries to hit the TADB once more. Doesn't get a hit. Nice smoke by fantyx. Richvedka coming around to finally see that Milan 2, and that might be the end of the Milan 2 then. E4 here coming around. Yeah, in general, fantyx lacking once more recon. Amount of recon here really low. Only infantry are all around here. On the other side, the amount of recon is also not fantastic, but slightly better positioned to the 2 recon units we have. A bit more recon on both sides wouldn't be too bad. And I guess we have a couple of AMX-10s. Yeah, and AMX-10 RC still around as well. E4 Milan in the north as well. AMX-30B2 has to retreat there. Against the TADB. Fires another ATGM towards it. Doesn't get the hit though. ADB kills the P4 Milan before it can get hit. As we have more AMX-30B2s coming in. We have more AMX-10 RC Sublime coming in. The top end AMX-10. As it has 18 penetration. 65 accuracy on that gun. More P4 Milans coming around as well. UATS goes down to the Milan. Milan needs to reload. That's what the TRM 2000 is for. Good timing there by tmanplays. We have more Urals coming on the other side. V24 VP not really finding any angle here. Well, it's TADBV getting around over here. P4 still chilling. Roland 3 goes down. MX-30B2 has to smoke off. Milan 2 will try to get a kill. BTR 60 gets out of line of sight too fast. Milan 2 will now fire onto the UATs. Should be put on fire. Should be turned off on fire at will. Wasting its ammo on UATs. It's not really what you want to have happen when you put it into these positions. You only want to fire on full transports. And targets that actually are worth it. 20-point transport's really not what you want to reveal your Milan 2 for. And waste your ammo especially. AMX-10s and AMX-30s now. Engaging in the north once more onto some infantry. Me-24 VP though, in another nice position there. And the Mistral too far back. Roland 3 that tried to move north, got killed. So, not an easy position here right now to shoot at that Me-24 VP. So, really good zoning here by fantyx with it. Yeah, no Roland 3 right now up there. Roland 3 could potentially rotate, but it's a bit scary here as the TADBV with its ATGMs then could maybe try to get it and so on. 3000 meter range, outranging the Me-24 VP by a slight bit. MX-30 falling back here. ADB rolling forward. Hitting the commandos. Hitting the recon unit as well. As we still have a Mexican standoff. Me-8 MTA still flying back here. The MX-10s and so on have been killed off. The Me-24K that we saw earlier here... Oh! Actually, made it into an interesting spot. But it's the wrong way around. fantyx. Oh, it's completely out of fuel! Oh no! And it landed the wrong way around. Oh no. Oh no. Actually is getting hunted by Gazelle Hot. You don't see that every day. Me-24K being hunted down by Gazelle Hot. Oh boy. The worst moment to run out of fuel here, really. That's gonna be the thumbnail. MX-30B going down. PMP2s moving around over here. T62, M1 engaging up north as well against Mistral. Mortal Strelky getting hit. KDBV engaging versus the Eclairs. As the Mortal Strelky gets hit up. Nice shots. As the MX-10s here hard to get a hit off. As we have some TADBs coming in. Yeah, the Gazelle Hot there really struggling with its 50% accuracy. Quite the unfortunate die rolls. Commandos versus Red Guys over here. ATGM flying up north. Yeah, I'm still not certain if I dislike how I feel about missiles not getting more accuracy per shot. On the one side, it doesn't really make too much sense. On the other side, it would give them a bit more consistency. For all sorts of missiles to behave similar to guns. BABT-20 moving around here. ADBV slowly falling back. As we have some Mortal Strelkies and some BMP2s moving up. The ADB coming in to reinforce the north, as we will have an insane Mexican standoff in the north soon. Me-8 getting hit there by the Mistral. Mistral finishes the job it started. Yeah, these manpads are so fantastic. I'm loving these things at the moment. But I might, when I play with them, and they're the absolute worst nightmare of me when I play against them. They're, I would say, OP. They just deal so much damage. Hey, the Ordained Sinner. Hello there. Epic name. Hope you're having a good time. Me-24 VP coming around with some ATGMs. TADB rolling forward. ADBV coming in here as well. And you have some T62 M1s rolling up towards the T62, the MX-30B2. MX-10RC here, chilling out. Oh, T62's getting the kill. Getting the shots off first, but the MX-10RC will retaliate. BAB coming in as well. MX-10 from the lower grounds also coming around. Oh, T62 gets a kill onto another AMX-10. Really paying off there for fantyx. Good trades. T62s are cheaper than the AMX-10s actually. And especially after killing off the MX-30 already, that's totally fine. Brenners are around. They have better ammo, and they have slightly better armor than the MX-30B2 as well. As they have the first version of reactive armor of the French attached to them. And better ammo, allowing them better penetration capacities. As the Brenners now gets wiped out there by the B2s though, by the TADBs. TADBs and TADBVs, they're doing a good job. And maybe not the best of micro there on tmanplays side. Should have smoked off immediately there with the Brenners. Instead loses it, and that puts fantyx heavily ahead in the tank numbers here. Like he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tanks versus 1? Like 1.5 if you count the AMX-10. There's a couple of ATGM carriers, and his tanks are better 1 by 1 already. So he really should be able to do the job now. Good dodge here for the Milan 2. Running away from the Akatsia. Akatsia also a bit unfortunate with where its shells land. Milan 2 does get out unscathed there. We have a lot more AMX-30B2s coming in right now. But I feel like there should be an opening right now for fantyx to push. fantyx not taking it though. 17 minutes remaining. Both sides still having basically no points whatsoever. It would be a draw if it stays at a 40-42. Still see that as highly unlikely, but it seems like it will go and come down to the last 10 minutes or so once more, as fantyx doesn't seem to push right now. Has an advantage for sure though. More reinforcements coming in here, but is not pressing it. Saperi moving forward. Is fantyx getting hit by the Hannibal disease once more. ADB hitting around here. MX-10 RC though in a good spot. Not getting any hits, but no recon to spot the MX-10. That's a bit of a problem here for fantyx. Once more, not having enough recon on the battlefield. Commandos sitting around here. BTR getting shot by Milan 2. MX-30B2 slowly moving forward. ADBV coming in with the ATGM. Not getting the hit. Ooh! And the Mistrals find the kill onto the Mi-24 VP. Akatsia trying to hit the Milan 2 down here. The ADBV gauges onto the Milan. Smokes off afterwards. Also, we have some Saperis engaging over here. Okay, good hit by the Akatsia. Milan 2 taking heavy damage there. Any close proximity hit now should take it out. There we go. Akatsia finishing the job. Another one coming up. Saperi RPO moving forward. TADBV engaging the Cooper anti-char. Saperi under fire here once more as well. Next we have an MX-30B2 engaging back here towards the Saperi. Commandos under fire. Ooh, Cooper anti-char engaged by the TADB as well. Anti-char down. As the tanks do arrive again here for tmanplays. But, I mean, there's just so many tanks for fantyx here. And they are all better. So, there should be a W within this for fantyx, no? ADB versus AMX. The AMX does get the first hit, makes the accuracy of the enemy lower. And gets the next missile out way faster. So the TADB has to be careful. Should smoke off, doesn't smoke off, gets killed. AMX-10 over here already paid off now. Good kill here with the ATGMs. He's trying to find a new spot. Whilst TADBV does hit around here. Still a draw if it stays this way. But 14 minutes, still some time to achieve something. Southern side completely dead. I feel like whoever creates a strong southern force first wins the game. Like, just create a southern force, push quickly in here, get a couple of ticks, get a couple of 100 points, get the W. Because if I'm not sure the North actually will ever be pushed for one side or the other. As by now, the amount of tanks in here is insane on both sides once more. The amount of AMX 30s that just arrived is crazy, but pushing into all of these T80s you really don't want to do either. A good amount of ATGMs around as well. More BMP3s coming around with ATGMs. Oh, an attempt on sniping the VAB, but good reaction here. On the other side, VAB does move away. VAB also somewhat survivable there with at least some light armor and a decent amount of hit points of 8 as an armored personnel carrier that is also quite quick. BMP3 engaging over here, T80BV coming into that spot as well, but it's 5 AMX-30 B2 Bs and B2s, mostly Bs actually. Those have heat shells, which means that they will do damage against the T80B, but they don't have range stacking on it, so they will only deal 1 damage per hit, no matter how close they get. So you actually don't really want to get that close to the enemy with those, as they don't profit from getting closer at all, whilst the enemy does. So you will get one-shotted if you get too close to a T80BV, and no matter how close you get, you will always deal 1 damage to them, which is nice, because you deal 1 damage to them on long range, which other tanks of that price range can't achieve, but you want to use them on the long range. Not what happened here, so yeah, 3 of the tanks dead now. On the other side, I don't believe a single tank dropped, and another Brennis goes down as well. Yeah, the T80BVs here really showing dominance right now. Really good engagements there for fantyx. Conqueror is in a good spot as well. Maybe they got a B? No, I don't believe so. T80BVs and Bs over here now engaging once more. AMX-30 under heavy fire. Artillery trying to get the VAB sniped. Not sure if they have accurate shot. It doesn't look like it. AMX-30 goes down. Where are we landing around it? Yeah, I believe 155mm could still live with a slight increase in AoE. The damage, if they hit, actually it feels basically perfect in my eyes. But the AoE is a slight bit too low now. AMX-10 RC is still a bit too low. Goes down, at least from my perspective. But I like that artillery is not just the easy ticket for destroying something on the battlefield that it was before. So, but it's not quite in the right spot. Scroll hitting the Mi-24 VP here. It has come in again. Replaced all your fallen brethren. Has to be careful. Doesn't want to get shot into pieces. Commandos and chasseurs together with AMX-10s here holding the line. Artillery on top of that could be quite potent. It's coming onto some tanks here. Not sure how much I like that. Like, yeah, the artillery on this part of the map right now could be really good. Meanwhile, in the south, still no bigger setup for either side. It's really all down to the north, where we have 10 minutes remaining now. Chasseurs holding the line. Lady Podechki. Eating damage, eating a lot of damage. BMP3 gets the kill, but Jaguar ATGM gets the kill as well. Gets wiped out by the Igla, the Osa, and the Su-27. Su-27, really the sentinel in the skies. Keeping it all clean here. The warden that just keeps all those pesky French planes out. That usually can be super devastating. AMX-30B2 here moving around. Mi-24 VP once more getting sniped there. fantyx losing that helicopter one more time. That's the AMX-30B2s and B2s here. Engage onto the Odleni Podechki, Saperis, Mortar Strelkis down here. BB coming in with an ATGM. Ooh, nice hit. Honkers. Not hitting the AMX-30B2. Could see us could use some reload. as we still have it at 40-42. I'm not sure how many games. I don't think we have had many competitive games that were this low in points at this stage, if any. I'm hard pressed to remember any that was this low in points at this stage. So yeah, this is quite the intense fight now. Quite the intense fight now. And it's a pretty important one for the tournament as well. I mean, the tournament currently without prize money. So, yeah, there's that. But still, quite the key development here. TADBV getting the MX NP down here. Getting the kill. More shots coming out. Grandia Voltageous being pinned down. Surs getting hit up there. TADBVK rolling forward. And yeah, who is going to break through, or are we just gonna stay at this? Is this gonna be the ending? Like, I mean, pretty certain somebody wants to push here. I mean, we see a slow push now from tmanplays, but there's still a good amount of forces on the other side. Good couple of TADBVs actually going down lately, but there's still one there. There's still a good couple of TADBs, and the MX30 number is not looking healthy either. Like, they really whittled each other down here. Only a couple of MX30B2s there. 3 more coming in. You get really so many as the French. But this is really interesting now. Okay, moving forwards. No artillery to snipe any BTRs. Milans, MX10s, MX30s coming up. 7 minutes remaining. Okay, we have a TADBV now coming in for the south. Is fantyx pushing his opponent out in the south? That would be really, really happy. Well, yeah, this industrial area complex here is really getting messed up. TADB getting a kill there. And another MX30. 2 dead ones here in that tree line. BTR still alive. Gets spotted though, at least, but I don't like, maybe with these reinforcements coming in, potentially there's a push. We have more BMP3s coming in. We have another Saperi Comrade coming in. Is fantyx going to push in the south? That could be the blow. That could be the blow. Ah, he leaves his enemy time to reinforce here as well. Like, using the Akatsias now to take out that Milan 2 or so. Take out the Eclairs. I mean, we're gonna go over time limit at this stage. Like, yeah, taking this out, for example, taking this out might be quite nice. Yes. We sadly can't change the line of sight tool here to a different setting. The blue lines in the spectator tool. BMP3 gets to Milan 2. Milan 2 tries to retaliate. BMP3 gets another shot off. Milan 2 heavily stressed out, making it even less accurate. Firing up north against infantry. Katsias once more trying to hit off the Milan 2. D62M. Ah, that doesn't survive a Milan 2 hit. Yeah, Milan 2 gets the kill there, lowering the chances of fantyx's push down here in the south as 2 more Milan 2s are coming in. The hot not being reloaded at all. 5 minutes remaining. Yeah, it seems like it stays in the north. Can any side snipe the other side's CVs there? fantyx by now has a good number of those. 2 CVs already in. A 3rd CV on the way. Okay, up in the north. Potentially trying to just run down behind enemy lines with that. I'm not sure, but Grandia Voltageous will be able to block that though. Yeah, running a CV through these forests into the enemy rear could be the W right now. No side is really attempting that though. We have some Gazelle Hots coming in good numbers in the rear now, as we only have 4 minutes remaining, so you need to get something in that actually can still make it to the front line and maybe still has an impact. Those Gazelle Hots are coming in. Usually the last 2 minutes are only airplanes, as everything... Potentially helicopters, but usually only airplanes, as everything else is not really worth it, because they don't make it to the front line in time anymore. And yeah, now buying a tank, for example, you might have like 30 seconds remaining on the front line of it. Paris here. Hold the line. And is this really going to end 40-42? That would be for sure the lowest tournament game we had so far. Outside of instant, like, disconnects in the first minute. For sure the shortest we have at the 40-minute mark. If it stays at this. fantyx shooting with artillery in there. Will we just see the massive A-click out of both sides in the end? No, I don't believe so. I mean, tmanplays still wins the series with this. If he has a draw here. He has a worse stats than Hippie then. So if he would draw against Hippie next week, he would lose. So he would need a win against Hippie next week there. But yeah, that's fine for him, I guess. 30 voltages on the fire. And he also really does. I feel he lost momentum by now. But his hot helicopters should be good enough to block any kind of shenanigans. Okay, the shenanigans is coming out of fantyx side. fantyx trying to get the superior camaraderie behind enemy lines, but it was spotted already. So that's not gonna work out. Doesn't have anything like that in the south. He's not really using artillery down here, trying to drive these tanks in there, infantry in there. Could have worked out a while ago. Maybe a bit too late now with the hot helicopters and so on coming around here as well. Now, where did the 4 go actually? There's 4 more coming in. Were we in the north? Wait, did he lose them all? Actually, I have no idea. That would be surprising. There's only an OSA around here. We lost 4. Where did the helicopter? Ah! But why? What's the point? Like, you don't have any airborne helicopters. Lol. I have no idea what they are supposed to do here, but they're going for a hunt. So yeah, it seems like both sides are happy with 40-42, as I don't see any movement happening here. TDBVK should maybe be a bit more careful. Okay, that guy's coming around for the side. Superior camaraderie are outside, meaning that the hot helicopters just can't do anything against it, but it also won't be able to reach this position in 3 minutes, in 1.5 minutes. The MP2 potentially could transport it, but there's an AMX-10 still here, and so on, so that's not gonna happen. Yeah, it's gonna stay at a 40-42. Gotta live with that, I guess. Quite the interesting matchup for sure. These two keep fighting a hell of a battle, and yeah, just nobody really able to gain an advantage for long enough to really make it work. I could see us now trying to kill the VAB. You need to move the AMX. Come on, fantyx, at least show some aggression. Oh, it's a bit frustrating. Like, come on, making the VAB move, having a recon unit around to spot that, shoot it with the TADBV, profit. It's like something like that. But he's not following it up with anything. fantyx always a bit too reluctant in his play. Meanwhile, ATGM's here, trying to hit Urals. SU-27 and SU-25 getting the kill there. Like, come on, makes... no. It won't, no, nothing will happen. 25 seconds, 20 seconds. And we're gonna have a 40 versus 42 points. It's just not enough to win the game. 2 points different there. Will be a draw for fantyx. As we have 8 seconds remaining. AMX 30. B2 moving up here. And here we go. tmanplays and fantyx drawing in game number 2. And leaving us with an interesting set. What an interesting game. Allowing tmanplays a 3-1 victory. Meaning that these two will face each other next week. Sotek got the W over Blitz War. As other games still have to be played here. And yeah, GGVP to these two players. Interesting games here.